been going to this church for about 2 years, and it feels pretty weird to be up on the stage right now. But I've been sitting in these seats and hearing God's word differently in the last 2 years, and God has been, like Jericho said, He's been very inviting to me to grow closer to Him. So Jericho texted me like a week ago, and she asked me to share a testimony of my faith with all of you guys. So that's what I'm going to do today, and I hope that that you guys can hear my story and walk away with a perspective of who God is and what He has done in my life and what He can do in yours. I think that the fact that Jericho asked me to give my testimony is a perfect reflection of what this church is all about, and I'm so blessed and grateful to be a part of a community here that wants to hear from the people that are here. So I'm going to share just a quick background of kind of who I am, not related to my faith story, so that you guys can just get to know me a little bit. It'll be short. So I grew up in Costa Mesa, and basically sports was my whole life. And if any of you guys out there like love playing sports, like we can relate to each other, because that's all I did, and I was very competitive. Played baseball and basketball in high school, ended up playing college baseball in Texas, and I'm done with sports now, but I just started my new job as a firefighter. But more importantly, my journey of faith, my walk with God, like I like to think of it as, it started when I was going to school. I went to a Catholic school when I was growing up, and then in high school and in college, went through major ups and downs in my faith. I'm not going to get into all of those details, but God has been doing something differently in my life the last 3 years. It first started like with that invitation that Jericho was talking about, and the way that He did that for me specifically was through community. When I was in Texas, I started going to a church there and immediately found opportunities to volunteer with the kids, meet other volunteers, and go into their homes and spend time with them and talk to them about God. And I was kind of reorganizing my whole faith at that point, and this was huge for my relationship with Him. And then when I came back to California a couple years ago, I started going to this church and joined the high school volunteers, and the high school volunteers. And recently, been going to a men's group here on Sunday nights at 5:00, and I think that the way that God has been using community is not just specifically spending time with people of a like-minded faith, but opening my heart to their stories and letting me relate to what their spiritual journey is like, and then that makes me feel better about all the ways that I'm messing up or the ways that I'm growing closer to God. And it's been such a huge impact in my life, is the men's group here and volunteering with the high school. And there's so many people in these seats today that I can look at and say that if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I am today with my relationship with God. So the main theme that the main theme that God has been showing me through community is strength through weakness. And uh, God, I like to think of my relationship with God as like he's playing tug of war, like with the devil, kind of, and he's like kind of trying to the devil and God are trying to pull me in their respective ways, and when I feel weak, God is tugging even harder, and he does that through the men and women that I mentioned before. That theme of strength through weakness has gotten me through some really tough times in my sports career, and then in these last few years trying to basically go into the real world of life. And I've doubted God, I've doubted the Bible, I've doubted so many different things, like salvation and all these things, and I have felt really weak at times, and I just remind myself that when I am weak and when I have fallen down, and when I have messed up, it's God's strength that picks me up off the floor and pulls that tug of war rope closer to Him. So I hope that this testimony of faith has been impactful, and I'm just so grateful to be up here. Thank you.